My name is Christopher Cortman, and tonight I will be your Master of Ceremonies. But that's such a long and awkward phrase. What do you say you just call me Master? You know, that never works at home either. I have also been in Sarasota, Venice, for more than 30 years. In fact, this is the 30th year of my license as a psychologist. Of course, I was 7 at the time, and one of the very few second graders that year who were eligible for a license. A lot of you know me as Dr. Cortman, and I know you as Monday at 9, Thursday at 4, and yes, Friday at 3. And a special shout out to the men in the support group, Cross-Dressers and Proud. Mayor John, Mr. Wozniak, Archbishop, Congressman. I was voted by the readers of Venice as the best psychologist last month. And so I wanted everybody to know that because I was proud. And then I found out that in actuality only one person voted for me. But gratefully it was my OCD patient. And he voted 571 times. That really worked out. I was in my 40s, and I don't know how well you know Florida law, but when you're in your 40s and you're divorced, they automatically put you on Match.com. I didn't know if I was as special to her, so I told her how the thing works in Match is that when your subscription runs out, whoever you're with, that's it. I told her, it's kind of like musical chairs. When the music stops, that's it. So, I gotta tell you, Steph, I made that up. She said, I'm pregnant. And I said, no, that's not gonna work. Put it back. And she said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm too old for this, you know? So by the time the baby's out of diapers, I'll be in them. She said, come on, really? You think in a few years you're going to be in diapers? And I said, I don't know, depends. Now, you guys know what a C-section is? What? Cesarean. Yeah, that's what I thought. No. There's a C-section and a can't C-section. They stuck me in the can't see section at the birth of my first child. I can still remember standing over her crib, 3:12 a.m., weary-eyed, exhausted, and thinking, could I ever love anything as much as this child? And then I remember other nights, 4:23 a.m., standing over the same child in the same crib and thinking, I wonder what I could get for an 11-pound white girl on eBay. Are you reading Einstein in the original? And he said, of course. I always like to read authors in the original. Don't you? And I said, yeah, absolutely. I said, this is an original Dr. Seuss. I said, I don't read anybody else's translation. And I said, and you know what? I could read this in a chair, and I could read this on a stair, and I could read this anywhere. So there. So this one time, I'm sitting there, and for once I'm minding my own business, and there's a family from Pakistan at the next table. And my son, Cameron, is doing his thing, and then finally, the gentleman on the next table gets up and he walks over to me, and he says, excuse me, I have been watching your son, and he has been so kind to my children, and I would like to request permission from you to buy him an ice cream cone. And I said, that is so kind, sir. I said, but in my country, it's customary to buy the father ice cream. One year we went up there, and it's a really good deal. I mean, it was like $150, and you get like a personal pan pizza and a kid's cheeseburger. It's like, what a bargain. And you got all these 18-year-old girls with really bad wigs come over to your table, and they say hi to your daughter. But this one time, we had Snow White at our table, and the music went on, and Snow White gets up and she says, come on, let's dance. And she goes to grab my daughter, who was really taken aback and frightened. So you know what my daughter said? Come on, Daddy. And she grabs my hand, and she pulls me up, and the next thing I know, I got my daughter's hand in one hand and Snow White's hand in the other hand. And I look back, and there were 35 girls from ages 4 to 8, and one creepy-looking middle-aged guy parading around the room. Finally, at one point, it occurred to me that all these people are staring at me, not because they think I'm a creepy middle-aged man, but because I'm holding Snow White's hand. They think I'm one of the dwarfs. While we were there, he said he had to go potty. And so I brought him into the bathroom. I said, you want to go pee-pees on the potty? And he said, no. And so there were 2 urinals there. There was an adult size and there was a kid size urinal. And I said, all right, watch me. Because I pretended that I was tall enough to use the adult one, and I was going to let him emulate me in the other one. So, I kind of got caught up in my business for a minute, and I looked over in absolute shock, because prior to that moment, I had never seen anyone sit in a urinal. And I didn't know whether to scream or to join him in the selfie. And then, this is true, this is absolute truth. 1 week later, he's got this rash around his bottom. Yeah, I felt so bad. And then he said, I swear he said this, he said, Daddy, my vagina hurts. So he's a very confused young man. My daughter Melina was so addicted to her pacifier that I would dread the nights, because she would be screaming, Patsy! And then the next word I really didn't like, because it would always be, Daddy! And I'd be, oh, this is horrible. And it was probably wrong to put a nicotine patch on her. I recognize that. You know what I did? I created a lullaby for you. You want to hear it? I was afraid you'd sleep. Hush, little angel, please no drama. Get back in your crib with your Elmo pajamas. Next time you cry, please ask for your mama. If she don't come, then call Obama.